At this point, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, what do you mean I have ascites? Like, I don't even drink. Okay, so part two, finally. We got to the emergency department. The car ride was so uncomfortable the whole way. Like I said, I couldn't even breathe. Like, it hurt to breathe. It hurt to move. Every bump that my husband went over in the road, it was just like literally like taking me out. So we got to the ER. My husband, he pulled up a wheelchair. Had a hard time getting in the wheelchair. Got to the wheelchair. Got inside. They took my vital signs. My vital signs I'm always on the lower end. Like, my heart rate is usually like in the 50s, 60s. My blood pressure is usually like 90s over like 60s or something like that. First of all, my heart rate was in the 100s, over 100s. It was like 110s. Blood pressure was elevated. That was like the first telltale sign. On top of, I was having extreme pain. I sat in the waiting room for 3 hours in a wheelchair. Finally got back to a room. When I got back to the room, they came in, they drew labs, everything. My labs were crazy. Everything was out of whack. Everything. They came in, they did an ultrasound. When they did the ultrasound, the babies looked good, everything. However, they seen some fluid above my uterus in my just abdominal cavity. Around like 12 weeks, I went to go and see like a maternal fetal specialist because I was high risk pregnancy. They were doing like monthly ultrasounds just to make sure the babies were good, make sure I was good, etc., etc. Around like week 12, they suspected a placenta accreta. With twin A, the placenta, the way it was attached to the uterus, it was just like something wonky going on with it. So they were just keeping an eye on it. They had told me that they were gonna do an MRI later on in my pregnancy just to confirm it, right? I hadn't gotten that far yet. Mind you, I'm like 19 weeks pregnant with the twins. When I was in the emergency department, the on-call OB came and seen me and was like, we're gonna go ahead and do the MRI, just so we can like get a better look, because it's apparently MRI is more effective than an ultrasound. So they were like, we can see more with the MRI. So I go to get the MRI, y'all. When I tell you, the longest 22 minutes of my life, I had to hold my breath. When I tell y'all, it hurt so bad to move. It hurt so bad to breathe. It was just, I just remember laying on that table in agonizing pain, praying literally like, Lord, please just get me through this. I get the MRI, I get back to the room. Mind you, at this point, I've been like in the emergency department for like almost 12 hours now. The OB comes and talks to me and was like, we're gonna transfer you to a bigger facility because we just don't have the resources here to provide what you need. I'm like, okay. Then the general surgeon comes in and was like, so on the MRI, we see like ascites, which is just like loose, free fluid in your abdomen. And we don't feel safe going in to like withdraw the fluid. So we're gonna transfer you to the other hospital where my regular OBGYN, who I had been seeing like my whole pregnancy, where they would be. They talked about doing like a paracentesis, just to like withdraw the fluid. They're like, did you have any like health issues like prior to coming? And no, healthy as a horse. At this point, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, what do you mean I have ascites? Like, I don't even drink. Like, what do you mean? Like, because usually, ascites comes with like people that have like issues with like liver failure, etc., etc. The EMS comes, I sign on my paperwork to transfer. I had never been in an ambulance my whole entire life until then. The most uncomfortable ride, y'all. I'm still in like paying 20 out of 10. 20 out of 10. Get to the other hospital, and all I can tell you is when I got to the other hospital, literally all hell broke loose. I'm gonna hang up the phone on y'all, but I'm gonna see y'all in part 3.